Welcome to the Nutritious and Delicious podcast. I'm your host, Bethany, and I've been in the health and wellness space for over 17 years. As a previous health nurse and now a certified holistic nutritional consultant, I help clients with their hormone health, fertility, and family health. Join us on this journey as we connect with experts from around the globe, sharing insights and personal stories along the way. So today I'm here with the amazing Dr. Heather Sharfi. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here with you and share our passion with the entire podcast friends.
Yeah. So today, Dr. Heather Sharfi is actually a highly regarded fertility coach and women's health specialist. She has a doctorate degree in cancer biochemistry and a master's degree in cellular metabolism. Heather's practice revolves around a naturalistic approach that focuses on lifestyle changes that are scientifically proven to improve your chances to conceive. So, this is a great topic today. We're going to talk all about understanding the root causes of infertility. So,
Yeah.
I would love to hear kind of how you got started in this health and wellness space here, Heather.
Oh, that's a interesting question. Yeah, so as you mentioned, my background is very heavy on the science. So I'm definitely an expert in the female body and every kind of system in that female body. And I think it started because I became a mom. And when I was a mom, I was kind of like self-reflecting. There's a lot of self-reflecting when you make your first baby. And I was kind of like feeling that continuing researching diseases like diabetes, cancer, and like diseases just didn't feel right to my soul anymore. And I knew I needed a switch. I just didn't know where I'm going. So I really did take some time to feel what it means to be a mother, to connect with the mother in me, and then fertility, creating life, helping other people get that gift of children is what felt right. So I just started as like, oh, I know all this biology and I know all these amazing kits and all the science that can help you make babies. And I helped all my friends. And I know that philosophers are saying what you do for free is your passion, is your calling. If you do that, you do good. So that's what I started doing. I just started helping people making babies or just tweaking their biology a little bit. And then I created the Eve Fertility method, which is a natural way to just increase your chances to conceive. And that's how it became what I am today. I'm doing a lot of fertility. This is my expertise. But because fertility is also revolving around other female issues, which I hope we can talk about today, I moved also to help just women in general, just increase their well-being and their health.
Right. Well, that's great. I love that you're so passionate about what you do. And I love that you're in this space as well. Let's kind of go start with some statistics, I guess, on female reproductive health. You mentioned like there's issues that kind of start. What are you kind of seeing today, and what types of support and treatments are women typically getting?
That is a very good question. So it's depending when you are in this universe, right? So I worked with people all over the world. So I can tell you that the healthcare that you get in America, which where I am, California, and Canada, completely different, right? Europe, they have completely different rules when it comes to IVF or like any kind of like artificial. When we go to like Greece, and like places like that, yes, completely different situations. Even within America, you can see California and Boston that are more liberal, different kind of rules versus like Texas, different kind of rules. So it's again depending when you are. But when we talk about infertility, it's kind of like repeating itself, and knowing what's connecting it together is key to understanding how to solve it. So I would say 3 key things that are causing infertility today. The first one will be the environment, and this is where you are located. So toxins from the environment, toxin from your food, toxin from the products you put on your skin, your skincare, toxin in your home, the way you cook,
Right.
those are key when we talk about infertility. And part of the infertility method is to clean those kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So environment is important. The second factor is biology. So I know everybody are focusing on the female and say this is a female issue, but it's not a
Mm-hmm.
female issue. It's actually 50% is male issue,
Yeah.
50% is female. So I love it because this is equality.
Yeah.
But I do understand that it is easier to fix almost or to help and support the male sperms. So that's why we kind of like don't talk about it. But females that listen today, please send your husband to a clinic.
Yeah.
It's a cheap and easy test that will give you a lot of information of what is really the problem, because the doctors will focus on the female
Right.
and sometimes completely neglecting the male. But stuff like for the male, if we want to start helping people, will be supplements. Those are key for the male.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining their stress. This is key for the men. No caffeine, no alcohol. Those are really, really important when it comes to sperm production and health. Okay, so those are kind of easy. But when it comes to the female, we talk about biology
Mm-hmm.
of a very complex system. So the first part of that problem I want to talk about is PCOS,
Mm-hmm.
polycystic ovarian syndromes. This is something that we see in 15% of the cases. And this is literally due, let's talk about what it is first. So it's basically the egg that is going to make your baby this month.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going out and making an egg for the sperm to meet and create a baby, that egg is inflamed and it's
Right.
not vital anymore. So you're basically losing this month
Yeah.
opportunity to create your baby, and that will reduce your chances to conceive. So PCOS cases, endometriosis, again, 20% of the cases are endometriosis. Endometriosis is basically your uterus is overgrowing. So the tissue in your uterus is overgrowing, and fixing that obviously will increase your chances, because when the baby is there, it needs to hold the uterus and connect with it. And
Right.
if it's all inflamed or overgrowth, there is less chances or less places to connect to that baby. I also want to talk about sterile inflammation. Females today have high levels of inflammations in their body. Now, we are animals, creatures. Yes, we are human, we are the top of the chain,
Yeah.
but we're animals. And this body has messages from the brain and the environment. And if the environment or the brain are telling the body, this is not a good time to make a baby,
Yeah.
this is not a good time to make a baby, and the body will listen. Okay?
Yes.
So things like what you eat, your exercise, your stress level are all affecting your body. And if you don't take care of that, that's where we see inflammation.
Yeah.
The last factor I want to talk about when it comes to infertility is autoimmune diseases. Okay? I call autoimmune diseases syndromes. They're not diseases because you can easily fix them with some of changes in your
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle and the habits that you have. And I hope we can talk about some of them as well. But when it comes to autoimmune diseases, we focus on the thyroid. So if you cannot make a baby for a full year and you're thinking you might be infertile, go check your thyroid
Yeah.
and ask for a full panel, because you also need to check those antibodies, which doctors will not check.
No, they
Again,
don't.
that's like healthcare. So if you ask for that, they will deliver, but you really do need to advocate for yourself. And this is where knowledge is power, because
Yeah.
if you don't ask and you don't know, the doctors don't know themselves, or this is not in their routine. So
Yes.
I would say pay attention to like autoimmune diseases, like celiac and Crohn's disease. Those are key. Pay attention to infertility or reproductive organ situations, like the PCOS, endometriosis, And the last one I have to talk about is stress.
Yeah.
So when we go to infertility, many of the cases today are unknown infertility. The
Yeah.
doctors do not know why or how to help you. In those situations, most of the cases are due to stress. So
Mhm.
again, our body is an animal body. It's reacted and connected to the environment and to the messages that you have in your brain. And
Mhm.
if that environment is lacking the resources to create a baby, it won't get one. You won't, it's like the message is, this is not a good time to make a baby. I'll
Yeah.
try again next month.
Yeah.
So when we come to stress, most of the stressors back in the days came from lack of food.
Mhm.
So the message is, oh, no food, no baby. So make sure that stress in your life is maintained daily, because we get stressed every day. But
Yeah.
if we maintain it, it goes down. But if not, it's accumulated. And the message that your body gets is like high stress, not a good time to make a baby.
Right.
So it's all about changing the narrative, or like changing that thought of it's not a good time to make a baby. And how do we do it? We reduce our stress, we take care of anything biology problem, and we change our lifestyle that it will be a good one for creating a baby for a full term. You need 10 months of good health to
Yeah.
make that baby.
There's so much good information in here. I'm trying to sort of like take it all in myself, but it made me think of my journey that started. So I also have PCOS. And I love that you say advocate for your health. And I love the fact that you are very big on women advocating for their health. And it's not just the women, there's the guys too. It's not just a female issue that's happening. So for myself, like I struggled with PCOS myself, and I really had to advocate because you kind of just hit the nail on the head there, is that there's a lot of things that are underlying that's not really being looked at. And obviously having the nursing skills I did, I understood that I needed the full thyroid panel and all those things, but not a lot of women do know these things and understand that like that's what they should be looking for, because there's so many things that we can sort of find out. And it just kind of does go undiagnosed. Like PCOS, like you said, 15% of cases, endometriosis, 20%. And, you know, there's still lots of autoimmune syndromes going on as well. And it comes down to, it could be something as simple as, you know, celiac disease in the family or Crohn's. Like there's a lot of inflammation. And that's what I've noticed in what I do, is that over the last several years, the chronic stress level has massively gone up because we've gone through a crazy time with obviously the world being shut down. And like you said, the body, the brain are very smart, and they're telling, you know, women basically like it's not safe to have a baby right now. So I'm seeing that more and more often, is there's a lot more inflammation going on, and which therefore I see a lot more autoimmune disease. And it's kind of just being thrown to the wayside. So can we talk a little bit about sort of the stress and how sort of like the cortisol levels affect, and like also lack of sleep as well, like when you're not sleeping properly, like melatonin is another factor as well. How does this affect fertility and regulating the hormones?
So when it comes to hormonal imbalances, right?
Mhm.
First of all, let's start with statistics. 50%, this is crazy. 50% every other female is imbalanced with their hormones. Now, I'm not talking about those women that are trying to conceive or are in the fertility window.
Yeah.
I'm talking about puberty to menopause. This is all over. Okay. So when I speak now, I'm literally speaking to everybody who is a female.
Yeah.
And if we want to reduce symptoms of imbalances, which are acne or like any kind of skin discomfort,
Hmm.
GI discomforts,
Yes.
okay, immune system is not working well, okay, to fight all those viruses and bacteria, and also reduce your chances to transformation of cancer cells. Those
Right.
are all the immune systems. Okay, so when we talk about hormonal imbalances, we talk about insomnia, not sleeping well. We're talking about hot flashes. We're talking about mood swings. Again and again, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm like all over the place.
Yeah.
If you feel any of those, go advocate for yourself. Ask for a hormonal panel. Okay, I will also mention that day 2 of your period is the best time to check those hormones, by the way,
Okay.
and just see what's going on there, because this is key to understand what's going on in your body. Okay, today females are not synced with nature.
No.
We used to be synced with the moon, 28 days. We
Yes.
are not anymore. So you see shifts all over the place with our hormones today. So when we go to hormones, the 3 main hormones that you want to focus on and kind of like balance them, and they will do the rest, because it's all pathways when it comes to your body, are melatonin, the sleeping hormone, cortisol, the stress hormone, and insulin, the one that is in charge of everything metabolism and energy in your body. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's talk about cortisol, because you started with that. Everybody talks about cortisol, right? To America, they call today the dopamine nation, because we are dopamine cortisol people. We just go, 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 go. And that creates a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And that stress affects your fertility, like we spoke previously. So cortisol is being secreted in your body in cases of stress, unsafe. Back in the day, again, animal, unsafe was a lion who's chasing you. The lion is chasing you, you're fighting the lion, you're flighting the lion is gone, you go back to calmness. Today, that stress is my kids, my husband, my boss, not enough of money, like any kind of stuff is a lion in your room.
Right.
So what happens is your body is creating high level of cortisol, and they don't take it off. Now let's talk about stress. When your body is stressed, this is not good time to fight bacteria. So immune system is being shut down.
Yeah.
That's why you see inflammation today.
Yeah.
Your GI system is shut down. This is no time to digest your food. So you're lacking nutrients, you're lacking minerals. This is the body that's supposed to be ready to make a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Under stress conditions, you don't have enough mineral and vitamins to make that baby. So again, the message is no baby. Now, the most beautiful part, and this is how I convince so many people to reduce that stress and learn the techniques to get rid of that stress, is that foggy brain.
Yeah.
When you run away from that lion, this frontal lobe, the logic, is shut down. So your reptile brain, the one that is there to protect you, will kick in. Now, if you want to succeed in life, you reduce that stress, learn how to maintain it, then you can tap into clarity. Then you can tap into your full potential.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't care about your GI system, your immune system, I'm sure you care about your brain.
Yeah.
Because this generation is all about brain power.
Right.
So those are the stuff that we see with cortisol. And in order to maintain cortisol, do anything that calms you down. Everybody knows what calms them down. That's why I love working one-on-one with people, because I customize it to what works for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be petting your pet. We were talking about our dogs.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great source of calmness and reducing cortisol levels. Walking, okay? No running, walking, okay? Meditation. There's tons of data, scientific data proven to reduce stress and cortisol when you do meditation.
Yes.
It's literally moving the wavelength of your brain from focus, alpha, beta stress, to theta, which is calmness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do meditation. It can be 10 minutes. You don't need more than that. Breath work, just breathing, using the body messages. When you breathe with a lion in your room, you breathe really shallow breath. That's a message to the brain. There's a lion. There's a lion. What happens when you take a big breath in, hold it, and let go?
Mm-hmm.
The brain gets the message there is no lion, and cortisol is going down. And this is easy and available all the time.
Right.
Certain poses of yoga, they will also reduce cortisol. And the somatic work, which is the core work that I do in my practice, which is regulating your nervous system. Those are targeted exercises that will target the places in your body that are holding tension, release them so you can enjoy calmness. So this is the hormone cortisol.
Yeah.
Now, insulin, this is easy. Everybody talks about insulin. We consume way too much sugar today. You know that. This is like your expertise.
Yes.
Sugar is addictive.
Yes.
So we consume more and more sugar, not less and less sugar. And sugar will activate the hormone insulin. Now, insulin directly controls LH, FSH, and estrogen. Those are the female cycle hormones. If you have high level of sugars, you will have high level of insulin and dysregulation of LH, FSH, and estrogen. And this is where if you don't get any kind of ovulation this month, it's probably due to insulin. So making sure you're working on insulin sensitivity, which means controlling and balancing that insulin is key.
Right.
The last hormone you mentioned is melatonin. That is my favorite hormone. It's a very special and very powerful hormone. It's actually on the top of the chain controlling all the other hormones. Okay, so melatonin is controlling insulin, melatonin is controlling cortisol, and melatonin is controlling everything that's related to your reproductive system. Melatonin is produced from your brain, the pineal gland in the back of your brain, which is a very important part of your brain because it's also related to your emotions. Okay, so they are connected, this melatonin and your, let's say, all over, too much emotions, melatonin is there. So what we need to know about melatonin when we want to maintain or balance melatonin is that it has a window, 2 hours before we go to sleep, 2 hours after we wake up. This is the melatonin window. In that window, melatonin is secreted in order to shut down your analytical brain, stop thinking, stop stressing, fall down into sleep, which is subconscious stuff, not conscious stuff, right? Who is in charge of that? Melatonin secretion. So melatonin is super sensitive to light. In the light in your house 2 hours before you go to sleep. Blue screen. People don't know that, but any kind of screen we use today is a blue screen, and that is actually affecting the secretion of melatonin. Now, if melatonin is just being secreted a little bit, it will also go down a little bit, and that's how you get insomnia, lack of sleep, not deep sleep, and all that other stuff. So make sure you get the full secretion of melatonin. So no screen 2 hours before you go to sleep is key. And I will also say that stuff that calms you down are very, very important to get to that full potential of melatonin. Stuff like stop eating at 6 p.m. If all your energy in your body is going to your GI system, what happens is that you do not have energy to other systems, like the immune system, like healing processes of your body. That's what melatonin do. It's secreting liquid that literally nourishing your inner organ, including the reproductive system, and detoxifying it from anything that is toxin. Now, if you miss that secretion of melatonin, guess what happens to your body? It's not being nourished and it's not being cleaned. And those are healing properties of melatonin. So that is my favorite hormone. Paying attention to it is key in order to gain back the reproduction or the ability to use your reproduction system.
That's insane that melatonin takes such a precedence over this. You talked about melatonin, cortisol, insulin. Like we talk a lot about cortisol in general. I think like you mentioned, insulin plays a huge factor. I see a lot of this where there's increased blood sugars going on. There's a lot of inflammation in the gut. And then again, like you said, it leads to sort of the imbalance of the FSH, LH, estrogen going on for women. So therefore, explains a lot of PCOS as well from sugar and like our Western diet, basically. I'm curious about melatonin in terms of people taking it as a supplement and like how that sort of works, because there's clients too that like have been on sleeping medications because they've suffered from insomnia, and then they start relying on these things. And I kind of want to ask, in terms of like supplement wise, what would be something that you would sort of recommend? Or like you naturally mentioned about sort of the light. The light will definitely, if you're blocking out the light, you're getting rid of like phones or iPads or computers. It made me laugh because I thought about, the lack of sleep sometimes I get, and I can lie there sometimes for 2 hours and nothing's happening, but I'm in a dark room. So it does explain exactly what you're saying. Like the hormones are all off kilter. What would you sort of suggest to somebody if they're trying to sort of get better sleep and maybe the melatonin isn't that great?
I get that question a lot. Like, what do I do? I've already like taken melatonin. So my practice is basically the natural, like empowering your own body to
Yeah.
do what it's supposed to do, which is making a baby. Okay. So I say, when we talk about hormones, we need to think about the receptors, right? Receptors are what they sit on the cell and they're holding the hormones and then creating a message inside the cell, right?
Right.
So the receptor for melatonin, as I said, are everywhere in your body. It's a very important hormone. If you take medication, and please consult your doctor because he needs to or she needs to guide you through how to reduce the amount,
Yeah.
increase the amount. This is all you with your doctor. This is
Yeah.
very important to say when we talk to the general people. But in general, I would say this receptor is very sensitive to melatonin. And if you give it 10,000 more time, like 10,000 more of the amount of the natural melatonin, you create a lack of sensitivity to the receptor.
Okay.
So I don't like the fact that people are on melatonin for a long time because melatonin is important for so many things. And then those receptors are not very sensitive anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you sleep for 2 more hours, but you get all the other stuff. So I prefer the natural ways. And if we go to old wisdom, which was there for thousands of years for us, all documented, things like go out in the morning and look at the sun. Not directly, but just let the sun ray touch your retina in your eyes will balance your melatonin.
Interesting.
I say to some females who say like, oh, but it's so cold. I'm like, I don't care. Go to the window. Look at the light.
Right.
Your brain can calculate where I am on the day. And if you do it often, what happens, it's balancing your cycle, your biological cycle.
Right.
Melatonin is part of this. So the old wisdom says morning time, very profound effect on your eyes, also activating the secretion of cortisol and dopamine so you can start your day. And sunset, the first message of melatonin secretion. So if you can catch those two and just enjoy it, also it will give you time in stillness, which
Right.
is kind of like relaxing and calmness. That will be really good to start balancing that melatonin. So I don't say stop right now what you're doing. I say go walk with your doctor,
Right.
slowly reduce it, but first add all those natural things that we just lost in civilization that are helping you to cycle and cycle your hormones on the right way.
That's such a profound way of explaining it. Like it sounds so simple. Like we are creatures of like nature and we kind of are missing that element. And it made me think to basically how we've all been, sitting at home, trapped in our homes for years on end, and no one's sort of seeing that light, and everyone's having worse sleep, and just literally getting that sunshine into your eyes. Your retina obviously is giving those messages, and you don't even sort of think about it because your body's doing all these things naturally for you. And then
Yeah.
obviously we at nighttime, a lot of us are stimulated by TVs, iPhones, iPads, games, like all that kind of stuff. And we're also eating later into the night too. So again, like you explained, it's, taking away some from that natural balance. So it makes sense. It's like if you haven't slept really well, did you actually go out during the day and get any kind of light? Like that sort of explains a lot. I love that.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's easy. We just go to what our natural ways, and
yeah.
then the body will naturally make you that baby.
When you mentioned stress, I wanted to kind of go back into this one as well for infertility. Can you explain how it actually impacts the reproductive system and why it accounts for so much? Like you said, 50% of the problem. So does this sort of tie into autoimmune as well, with where we are having all these hormonal imbalances during puberty all the way to menopause?
So yes, stress is the real issue of this modern lifestyle. This
Okay.
is this. Let's talk about that. That
Yeah.
is the real problem. As female, for example, if we talk about melatonin or going back to what we're supposed to be as females, when we wake up in the morning, it's still the melatonin window. Men, for example, they don't have a long melatonin window. They
Interesting.
wake up in the morning, they go cortisol, testosterone, go walk in your farm. That's the message. Go, go,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Female, we have 2 more hours of self-reflecting, being connected to ourselves. It's probably because our body needs more nourishment and
Yeah.
more. We have a lot of inner organs to nourish, especially if you are creating a baby. So we have 2 more hours of melatonin. Now, today, we don't enjoy that 2 hours of melatonin. I, and probably you too, are a
Yeah.
5 a.m. So
Yep.
at 5 a.m., I get my 2 hours of melatonin
Yeah.
window and I do my stuff at 5 a.m. To get that. But when it comes to stress, it shuts down the GI system.
Hmm.
It shuts down the immune system. And that's why we see inflammation, we see chronic illnesses, we see chronic pain. Okay, in my clinic, when we do that kind of work, it's not only affecting your reproductive system, obviously,
Yeah.
it's affecting your overall health. And we even saw things like reduction or like disappearing of cancer cells.
Wow.
Okay, because if you increase the efficiency of the immune system, guess what is fighting those cancer cells?
Mm-hmm.
Immune system. So you're shutting down the immune system because of stress, because now it's time to run away from the lion, fight
Right.
or flight. So immune system is shut down. We start seeing all these chronic illnesses. Okay, reproductive, the message is definitely not a baby right
Right.
now under stress. So chronic stress is month after month when the body is asking the question, is this is a good time to make a baby? The answer is no, because there is stress.
Yeah.
So stress is key when we're talking about overall health of the female. And we're definitely talking about taking the body to the next stage of not only maintain yourself, create a baby. There is much more questions. Do I have all the supplements? Do I have all the nutrients? Do I have all the vitamins? Is it safe? Do I have enough money? Is my husband safe to me? Like all those questions are being asked when the body is asking the question, is it a good time to make a baby? So stress is key because it's literally shifting every system in your body from calmness, and we call that mode of the nervous system, of the autonomic nervous system, rest and digest,
Yeah.
because it's resting and digesting, to fight and flight. And in that mode, what happens is a shift in your blood.
Hmm.
It's moving from blood to your torso,
Yeah.
rest and digest, to blood to your hands and legs, so you can fight and flight. And when that happens, there is no regular or healthy systems working in your body. Everything is on the message stress. And stress is different in your body. It's running away from a lion. So adding small parts of your day to calmness, It can be 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in afternoon, 1 hour before I go to sleep. That is how the message in the body will change from stress, but I'm okay, stress, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
And that's how we start changing the narrative and that message. And not only you will get your baby naturally or increase your chances to conceive if there is any kind of biological problem, you will also reduce that sterile inflammation that you talk about. You will maintain insulin, which is key to good health and prolonged life. And you will just don't have those mood swings, and you will be more connected to yourself. So stress is the problem, and we have to attend it and learn and educate ourselves of how am I getting rid of some of the stress. I'm not saying live stress-free life, because that is not in our cards today.
Right.
But I say, if you're stressed, know what to do to go back to calmness. If you're stressed, in the end of the day, take time to maintain that stress, to
Yeah.
send another message to your body.
So it makes me think about as well how things have changed over time, obviously with women and careers. And I'm sure you probably see this often too, is that there's a lot of high powered women coming in wanting to obviously delay fertility and do this later. But like you said, they're kind of in this go-getter mentality. And like what we do is like wake up at 5 a.m. and start work. And we're supposed to sort of having that like rest period. And we're not. Like, I think we're sort of changing as a society in terms of women are sort of in more of, I feel, masculine roles. So can you kind of explain a little bit of like how that sort of developed and changed over time for women, and sort of that mentality that it's the softness is sort of gone a little bit?
Yes, and that's again go to hormonal balances, right? So people don't know it, but estrogen, the female hormone, and testosterone, the male hormone, are actually changing between each other whenever they want. So a female can move her estrogen to testosterone, and a man can move their testosterone to estrogen. No problem, by the way. It's really, really easy.
Yeah.
When you're in your masculine role, which we all are,
Yeah.
it's only about like how much of your day are you spending in that mode.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you're like a CEO and you work all day long and you have so many people like you need to take care of, and you have your home and you have like a lot of stuff and you're stressed because of that. Okay. You will have more testosterone. And if you have more testosterone, your cycle of the female, because it's being controlled by estrogen, will change as well.
Right.
So first of all, understanding that your body is reacting to your doing is important, because most people don't do that link. Wait,
Yeah.
I do, and then I'm like being this and the masculine, and you want to be activating the feminine organ in your body?
Yeah.
Wait, that doesn't work. So let's switch back and bring those times in your day when you are using the energy of the female. And I will say it here. It's nurturing, empathy, and peacemaking. That is the female, by the way.
Right.
Okay? We are not fighting, we are not hustling. This is the testosterone part of us.
Yes.
So first of all, knowing where you are is key. That's awareness. And when you are in your testosterone man, because you need it, that's totally fine. Make sure you even balance it more
Right.
with empathy, with peacemaking, with giving, with community, with support groups. Did you know that the Harvard Medical School just came up with an article showing that support group for infertility increase your fertility by 40%?
Wow. That's amazing.
That is amazing. Just sitting in a room with females
Yes,
and
that makes
female
sense.
energy will help you stay in your feminine side. So go do a support group. It can be online. All of that is, by the way, in America, free. There is free support groups in America.
Right. I love that.
Yeah. So when we talk about this cortisol, testosterone, estrogen balance, I'm not asking anybody to change their life. It's
Yeah.
unfair. She worked so hard to get to this career, to this position. And I see females getting pregnant at 42, 43, 44, no problem. Our body can definitely do it. So it's not fair to not talk about the numbers.
Right.
But you need to understand that you are reducing your chances. If this is in your cards, you need to be smart and freeze your eggs at 35 or maybe before if you can afford it, in order to give yourself a real chance to get the baby when the time is right.
Right.
So just being smart about it is what I ask, because I will never ask a female to change her passion, her calling, her
No.
doing. So it's again going back to like awareness, and also what do I do to balance that? Okay, so it's not changing or quitting, it's balancing. That is the key. And yes, this modern life is asking more from female. That's why we have more stress.
Yeah.
But it's also giving us more tools to calm down. Yoga is huge, right? Breath work, YouTube is all free. All you need is to push a button and you get like the best meditation ever, or like the best breath work, or like take a moment to yourself, or just close, dim the light and be still for 1 hour. That will still bring you back to that feminine elements. So it's again, those kind of women, they are very smart, they're very capable, they're very easy to make changes and good habits. So they can use those traits that they got with time of becoming this really power woman in order to also add the other parts and then just maintain it, and they should be okay.
And that's great that you're like, it's more of about a balance because, like you said, like we have so many women that are, in those high powered roles and, we want to kind of balance the energy out a little bit more so for them. So it's kind of at the end of the day, like, what are you doing to nurture yourself and give empathy and receive as well? Like that's part of being a woman, because again, society has expected so much more from us, but we also now have more tools available to us, like meditations, like yoga, like breath work, different things. What other kind of holistic perspective on like a daily routine practice that would you recommend to females to sort of help their reproductive system? Is there anything else that you sort of wanted to touch on?
Absolutely. So basically, my clinic is teaching you what is a good lifestyle. If you live a good lifestyle today with the life that you have, you can have your family, your reproductive, your health, and your career, your passion, and calling. You can do both, right? Oprah Winfrey says a woman can do everything, just not at the same time. And I love it because it's true. We can do everything, but not at the same time.
Yeah.
So if this is the time to prepare your body for a baby, even if you don't have problems, you should prepare your body for a baby, because increasing the quality of the sperm and the quality of the egg will give you a healthier baby. So this kind of work you can do even if you're not suffering from infertility. This is good for you and for your future baby. So a good routine will be starting your day early, where you can drink your hot drink in the morning quietly, no stress. You can't wake up to stress. It's just too much for us female. It's like, where
Yeah.
am I? And then you create discomfort in your body.
Right.
So wake up early enough to drink your coffee or tea. Okay, I'll recommend 1 coffee a day if you're trying to conceive, not more than that.
Right.
But I also don't even drink coffee. I drink mushroom coffee in the morning.
Right.
And then I drink my coffee and I relax a little bit with my coffee, taking a moment to set expectation to the day, maybe thinking of my day. If you're praying, this is a great time to pray and just stay connected with yourself, because remember, you still have melatonin in your body.
Right.
This is a great time. This is completely shut down. You're still fully connected. Do all the stuff of connection in the morning. And then do your somatic work. So somatic work is nervous system targeted exercises that are very powerful and specific to release tension from the body. So for reproductive system, many times it's the pelvic area. And there are exercises like moving your legs. I'm going to demonstrate with my hands, but think that this is kind of like my legs, and just moving them like a butterfly It's releasing tension from your body.
Interesting.
Movements like stillness and just standing, sun salutation that we know poses from yoga, those are great to start up your day. So take 10 minutes to just start that blood flow, because the secret is the blood flow. You want the blood to flow to your inner organs. And if melatonin is high and this is a calm situation, you can really nourish those inner organs. So move that blood. Okay? Very slow, comfortable exercise. That's why I really like somatic exercise. I do it 7 minutes in the morning. That's it. And I get the blood flow, I get the energy, I get tension away. I know I maintained the stress. This is great. After that, remember, you still didn't have any sugar, right? Because I hope that your coffee or your mushroom coffee does not have sugar in it. And then drink water with lemon, because that will increase your detoxification of the liver. Okay, so you're already in this fasting. Your liver is being cleaned when you're fasting. Lemon will increase that detoxification. So this is where I say, have a slice of lemon or whatever with water after you exercise, and then start your day, whatever it is that you're used to. But having a morning routine and kind of like have respect to your body is amazing. Now let's talk about evening routine. Remember melatonin window, 2 hours before you go to sleep. So dim the light, we talked about it. Go down to calmness. This is where I will suggest to do any kind of meditation, just to send the message to your body of calm down, rest. This is the time. It's a message to the body to calm down. Again, no blue screen. I really like the skincare. It's being shown that if you take care of your skin, is actually really calming to yourself. So lotion, oils, everything that is skincare for us female, it's very therapeutic. And this is a great time to take care of your skin before you go to sleep. If you do warm bath, this is a great time. Please use salt with minerals to, again, use those minerals whenever you can, because we do not have enough minerals in our bodies today. So those kind of a routine, when you have them established in the morning and in the evening, will really increase your overall health, your feeling, your connection, and your reproductive system.
I love that. Do you have any more words of wisdom before we leave the show today?
Yes, I would say go out and dance. When you wake up in the morning, do some singing, because we need to harness our inner happiness in order to not go down to that dark place of, I cannot do that. My body is betraying me, because those are, again, messages. So, but if you harness the power of your body, which is very powerful, because just like the messages coming from your brain to the body, there are messages coming from your body to the brain. Dancing, singing, going out with your friends, having fun, community, laugh. Oh my God, laughing is medicine. But you know, you need to have a really good sense of humor in order to laugh. So I don't go there. But everybody can dance. Everybody can sing. Everybody can give the right kind of message to the body. It's like, I'm waiting for the right time. I know the baby will come. I'm just waiting for the right time, and it will come. And that kind of message will uplift your soul, and uplifting soul, creating babies.
Exactly.
So it's all connected. Mind, body, and then the soul. So my last piece of wisdom will be, take care of your soul, give it soul food, and make sure you're happy and you know that it's in your card and it's coming.
It is. I love that. Mind, body, soul. Well, thank you so much for your words of wisdom here today. And this is amazing for our listeners. How can they find you?
I'm located in California, but I work with internationally. So you can do one-on-one Zooms with me, and we can obviously create your own plan. I customize my work or what we do to the client. Easy ways to make connection will be my website, which you can find in the show,
Mhm.
my Instagram. If you would like to see more of that or hear me talking more about women health, Instagram is a great resource for you to just check out what I do and what I say and how you have the power to be active with your health and get healthier with yourself. So my website will be the best one, Instagram, cellular phone. I'm everywhere. Just Google me.
Wonderful. We'll put all of that in the show notes for all you listeners here today. Stay tuned for our next episode and don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a show. In good health, everybody.